What's up YouTube, Egrka here bringing you another action figure review. Today we are looking at the McFarlane Toys BLOODSHOT action figure based on the new feature film that's coming out. It's not out yet, but I have to admit, I got this figure mostly because it's Vin Diesel. I mean, he looks spot on. That likeness is really cool. And say what you will about Vin Diesel, but I am a fan. I do love those Fast and Furious movies, and just to have him in the 7-inch scale, just looking super cool, I had to get it. Okay, so here he is. Looking really cool, has very cool form for the muscles under the shirt there. Got a lot of detail in the legs here. And this new articulation from McFarlane is looking really good. And their previous figures from Stranger Things, you can tell that they just made the figure and then they would cut into the sculpt to make joints. But this one looks like it was designed to be articulated from the very beginning. And it's really impressive. We'll get into the articulation later. But for now, we're just taking a look at the overall appearance here. Very clean paint job. This metallic, almost copper bronze, is pretty convincing. Very nice weathering going on here. The skin is pretty much one tone. It has a slightly blue tint to it, or at least that's what I'm picking up a bit. You can see it even more so in his face. The insignia on his chest is very clean, but you can see the blue in his ear for sure, underneath the eyebrows and the mouth. I think the head sculpt is spot on. It's just way too cool. Alright, articulation time. We can fully rotate out a ball joint at the top of the neck. We also have a ball joint at the bottom of the neck. So you can see a lot of movement there. Very nice. Arms can go fully out like that, as well as in. There's a slight joint in here. See that little lip right there? That allows for some movement in the shoulders for it to move forward and back a bit, which is a nice addition, I gotta say. I saw that in their Mortal Kombat 11 figures, and I think it translates really well. We can bend at the elbow, double joint there. There's a cut joint here at the bicep. Wrists can fully rotate. We can also bend at the wrist. There's like little, it's a clicky joint, I'm sure there's a better word for it. Little ball joint at the abdomen here. We can rotate at the abdomen. This is also a ball joint, so you can see he can really move. And I gotta say, the materials they used is pretty sturdy. It's a pretty nice kind of plastic. It almost reminds me of Storm Collectibles figures. The legs can go forward, back here. His rear end does stop movement from it going any farther back. They can go out. And here we have another double jointed knee there. Very nice. I'm not sensing any swivel motions in the thighs or anything. We have a ball joint at the boot. That's useful. And we have super toe articulation here. So a lot of movement here. You get for a lot of great poses. My only gripe is that his arms can't go any further down from this. Like, it'd be cool if it can go maybe like this, but I'm really making the figure work here. Look at this, that little opening. No good. so he's like almost too buff, Vin Diesel buff, to put his arms down. Alright, accessory time. He comes with 2 pistols. Very standard. They're pretty big for this scale. Haven't seen the movie yet, so I don't know how large his handguns are. But nice gunmetal shine to it. Not super metallic-y, but it looks like they're worn, which is very nice. This is not so impressive. The actual gun barrel, the hole there, one is filled in, the other one actually has a hole. This almost looks like an afterthought right there, just to drill a little hole in there. Then we have some sort of rifle here. It is a matte black with a dry brush metallic look to it. I think it works fine. It seems a little bulky on the cartoony side. But like I said, I haven't seen the movie. This might be very accurate to the movie, but as of January 2020, I have no idea. So it looks, something about it looks cartoony to me. And then we have the red in the scope there. And then we have this giant blade here with some brass knuckle effect. So you definitely don't want to get in his way when he has this in his hand. But this has a very nice metallic effect on it too. I'm really impressed with the metallic paintwork, because we can also see that reflect in the suit here. That looks really good. Very believable. Okay, quick size comparison here. We have the McFarlane Doom guy on our left, who's pretty bulky, you know, he's in that big suit. Then we have the 7-inch Vin Diesel here, Bloodshot, and then we have NECA's slightly larger Kratos. He is a god, so he is a little bit bigger, but he already pretty much towers over 7-inch figures. We're gonna swap in Sub-Zero here. You can see Vin Diesel. I keep saying Vin Diesel. We have Bloodshot. He's a little taller than Sub-Zero, who is standard 7-inch height as well. And now we're just gonna have fun with it. What else can we do? Another NECA figure here on the left. Standard 7-inch. Little shorter than Bloodshot here. This is a classic, I mean. NECA's T2 series. Nothing really like it. Alright, so overall, like I said, I'm super impressed with this figure. McFarlane's really stepping up their quality control and their articulation and their paint. For a few years there, they were doing those color top figures, which were a little flat looking. The paint was sloppy. They had pretty much no articulation, which personally I'm fine with. I'd rather a figure look really good instead of it looking super jointy and everything. I don't know if that's a thing, but either way, I think this is a really good balance. The only super obvious joints are in the double jointed elbows there, but I think it looks totally fine. I mean, hey, at the end of the day, it's just an action figure, you know, and I think it looks really cool. The amount of articulation he has makes him look super naturalistic. And I think the sculpt is fantastic on pretty much all levels. The shirt, the body build, the portrait is fantastic. The detail on the legs, the paint, I mean, it's really, really impressive. If they keep this caliber with their figures coming up, I think they'll be pretty memorable in this new decade, that's for sure. Now with this, they have the DC license they just mentioned, that they're launching all these figures, and I don't know, it might be a really good year for McFarlane. So let's stay tuned, let's keep an eye on them, and I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Until next time, I hope you guys take care, and I will see you soon.